When one of Donald Trump's allies is prosecuted by a left-wing government simply for standing up for the people, he doesn't stay silent, he acts. This week, the Trump administration issued a sweeping 50% tariff on all Brazilian imports, effective August 1st. The target, the government of President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who is allowing Brazil's Supreme Court, led by Justice Alexandre de Moraes, to prosecute former President Jair Bolsonaro, Trump's closest ideological ally in the Southern Hemisphere. The message was unmistakable: the U.S. will not do business with governments that weaponize the judiciary to punish political opponents. The tariff announcement came just days before the BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro, a high-profile event that Lula has promoted as a symbol of the world shifting away from Western dominance. But Brazil suddenly found itself facing its most significant economic retaliation from the U.S. in over a decade. While BRICS leaders discussed de-dollarizing global trade, Brazilian exporters scrambled to recalculate contracts with American buyers, whose dollars remain reliable and convertible. Lula responded defiantly: Brazil is a sovereign nation and does not take orders from anyone. But the markets had already spoken. The Brazilian real lost over 2% against the dollar in a single day. Exporters, particularly in agriculture and mining, reacted with visible alarm. With the U.S. as Brazil's second-largest trading partner and over $35 billion in annual exports on the line, no one in Brasilia could ignore the impact. On July 9th, both the U.S. Chamber of Commerce in Brazil and the National Confederation of Industry, or CNI, issued warnings. CNI called the measure economically unfounded, but admitted the political stakes. Brazil now has 3 weeks to either halt the prosecution of Bolsonaro or face the full weight of U.S. tariffs. On social media, Brazilians began calling the new penalty the Tarifa Moraes, named after the judge behind the Bolsonaro investigations. These proceedings have become a symbol of what many conservatives call targeted lawfare. Last year, Elon Musk referred to Justice Moraes as a dictator after Brazilian courts forced a month-long shutdown of the X platform. Trump has also accused Brazil of trying to censor American-based social media platforms, including Truth Social, Rumble, and X. In a legal move without precedent, several U.S. tech companies have filed lawsuits against Moraes, alleging unlawful interference with free speech rights on American soil. To many around the world, Jair Bolsonaro is more than a former president. He's a symbol of conservative resistance against rising global technocracy, censorship, and the erosion of national values. Once a military captain, later president, and now a man under prosecution for alleged coup plots and even assassination attempts, Bolsonaro is fighting back in his own country, one he says has been overtaken by leftist legal power. For years, Bolsonaro has claimed that Brazil's courts are engaged in a political witch hunt designed to disqualify him from running again. Polls show he would likely defeat Lula in a rematch. Meanwhile, Lula's approval rating has dropped to a record low of 24%, driven largely by public frustration with Brazil's stagnant economy. For Trump, this isn't just about Bolsonaro. It's about the broader global trend of manipulating courts to shape political outcomes, a threat to genuine democracy. Behind the legal language, Trump's tariff order reads like a political declaration. The United States will not reward political repression dressed up as justice. Those seeking access to the American market must first show respect for basic democratic principles.